hadn't known you a week before I decided you were the last man in the world I'd ever be prevailed upon to marry.
From the very beginning, your manners impressed me with the fullest belief of your arrogance, your conceit, and your selfish disdain for the feelings of others. I had not known you a month before I felt you were the last man in the world whom I could ever marry.
You have said quite enough, madam.
From the first moment I met you, your arrogance and conceit, your selfish disdain for the feelings of others made me realize that you were the last man in the world I could ever be prevailed upon to marry.
Okay, so it's happening. Netflix is making Pride and Prejudice, a 6-episode miniseries coming fall 2026, written by Dolly Alderton, directed by Slynn, starring Emma Corrin as Lizzie, Jack Lowden as Darcy, and Olivia Colman as Mrs. Bennet. And if you watched my last video, you already know why I needed to sit down and process this with you. Because as Austenites, or Janeites, we'll settle that another day, we are constitutionally incapable of reacting normally to new adaptations. We spiral, we compare, we form strong opinions immediately. I even ran a poll, and surprisingly, optimism won, which means whether we admit it or not, most of us are actually rooting for this. But I also know how this goes, so today I'm doing both. Why this could be everything, and why this could absolutely break our hearts. Let's start with the good news. Part 1, how to fall in love with this adaptation. All right, you stayed for the hopeful one. There are real reasons this could work. First, the team. Dolly Alderton understands emotional chaos, romantic longing, and female friendship, which is basically Austen's entire emotional ecosystem. And the wording matters. This is being described as a faithful, classic adaptation, and Alderton has said familiar and fresh. That's exactly what you want. Not reinvented, not aggressively modern, just understood. Because Austen doesn't need fixing. Second, the cast. Jack Lowden as Darcy works, not because he fits some perfect fantasy mold, but because he can do restraint, pride, and internal conflict. And Darcy becomes attractive because of who he is.
Yeah, someone sent me a message and just said, call me right now. And I just thought I'd done something wrong.
That's a terrible way to give somebody good news.
I know, yeah, it was, they really didn't give me any info, and then I phoned them and I quickly relaxed when we got...
Emma Corrin as Lizzie is interesting because they've already said the role is funny, which is key. Lizzie Bennet is witty, observant, socially sharp, not just quietly yearning. And Olivia Colman as Mrs. Bennet? Perfect, because she can do comedy and underlying panic at the same time. Rufus Sewell as Mr. Bennet? Dry, detached, quietly negligent in a way people love to romanticize. Exactly right. Third, 6 episodes. This matters. The 2005 film is beautiful, but it's compressed. 6 episodes means Charlotte gets depth, Jane gets complexity, Lydia feels genuinely risky, and the romance actually has time to breathe. That's a real advantage. A moment for Mary Bennet. I recently watched The Other Bennet Sister, and what stood out wasn't budget or visuals. It was focus. They made Mary a person, and when the writing is strong, everything else matters less. So my hope is simple. Give Mary just a little more humanity. Fourth, the story holds. At the end of the day, timeless. It's about pride, misjudgment, and learning to see clearly. That doesn't expire. If the writing works, this could absolutely become someone's version of Pride and Prejudice. Part 2, how to prepare for disappointment. All right, now let's be honest. Red flag 1, the aesthetics. The teaser feels very familiar. Muted tones, soft light, lingering looks. Very 2005. And I get why, but leaning this hard into that aesthetic is risky, because it invites direct comparison. And you cannot recreate lightning in a bottle by imitation. This needs its own identity. Red flag 2, the Netflix effect. There's a tendency toward a recognizable house style, polished, safe, familiar. And sometimes that works, but sometimes it makes everything feel interchangeable. Red flag 3, the music. The 2005 score is iconic. So this version has to choose, be completely different or risk sounding like a weaker version. And if it feels like a diluted echo, it's going to feel hollow. They need their own voice. Red flag 4, Emma Corrin as Lizzie. This is about performance. A lot of people associate Emma Corrin with Diana from The Crown. Very internal, very quiet. Lizzie Bennet is not that. She's quick, socially sharp, verbally alive. So the question is whether this leans into Lizzie's wit, not just her introspection. Because if she becomes too internal, the whole dynamic shifts. Red flag 5, playing it too safe. This might be the biggest concern. Same palette, same mood, same visual language. And when everything plays it safe, it fades into the background. This needs identity, not just reassurance. Red flag 6, Mr. Collins. Please don't reduce him to a joke. He's funny, but he's also unsettling. He represents power, entitlement, and a system where women don't always get to say no. If you remove that edge, the story loses weight. And that brings me back to Mary. Yes, I'm bringing Mary up again. Because once you've seen her done well, you can't unsee what's possible. The Hall of Shame. Let us briefly remember what we've survived. Persuasion 2022. Death Comes to Pemberley. Lost in Austen. Even Persuasion had a certain charm. Not really Austen, but not without appeal. I understand why someone thought it might work. But once you lose Austen's irony, once you replace it with self-awareness, you're telling a different story. And yes, Bridgerton is fun, but Pride and Prejudice cannot become aesthetic first, substance second. So how do we survive this? Here's the truth. This doesn't need to replace anything. The 1995 version exists. The 2005 version exists. This just needs to stand on its own. If the writing works, if the relationships feel real, if Lizzie actually feels like Lizzie, people will connect. A whole new generation will fall for this story, and that is worth wanting. And if it doesn't, make yourself a tea. Put on the 1995 series. Let Colin Firth walk out of that lake. Austen survives everything. She always has. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and let me know. Are you excited, nervous, or already judging the wigs? Thanks for watching.